am so excited because we have Scott Carlson with us. Scott has been with KV Core back when it was conversion, as my grandma would say, before God was a boy. He's been with us. And so he knows pretty much everything there is to know about our system and work. He is one of our account managers. And so he works directly with agents all the time. And brokers, making sure that they take full advantage of their KV Core platform to get the best results. And so we're super excited to have him as a guest with us today instead of our usual trainers. And he's going to go over starting a sales funnel and building your pipeline. And I'll let him take it away.
All right. Thank you so much, Heather. I appreciate it. And welcome, everybody. Welcome. I'm glad you're here today. Yeah, my name's Scott. I am an account manager here at Inside Real Estate and helping agents, brokers, companies, and teams generate pipeline for 19 years or something along those lines. But enough about me. This is about you. All right. And it's about building a successful pipeline. So some of the people who are here, you may be veterans at this. You may be fantastic at this already, and that's fine. You pick up a trick here or there, or something that you can give to a junior agent or somebody who just, maybe there's some of this stuff that you've never done, then it is still for you. Okay, so hang in there and hopefully you get some value out of this. If you are just starting, you are new, or you've never really figured out how to manage a successful pipeline in real estate, you need to be here. So stay for the whole thing. That's all there is to it. Now, with that, let's go ahead and talk about you and get into that really quick. What you do, what you guys do here is not necessarily selling houses. The house is going to sell with or without you. No offense, but the house is going to sell with or without you. You're selling your involvement in that process. That's what you sell. But you're only going to get the opportunity to do that if you can get yourself in front of people who want to buy and sell houses. You can't control what their timing is of when they're going to buy and sell houses, but people buy and sell houses. So what business are you in? You're in the people business. You're in the job of collecting people, okay? And within that, you need to get into conversations. So when you say, I need to, what do I need to collect? You need to collect conversations with people about real estate. That's your job. If you're in sales, what you do today, how many people you talk to today determines how much money you make tomorrow. So I'm just talking about why you need to have an effective pipeline, because you don't want to have a career that has, I made some money this year and I didn't last year and this year and that year. And what we've seen over the last few years is you had this crazy market and then boom, in most of your markets, that flattened out a lot, didn't it? And what we want to do is build a successful pipeline. And that means something that creates consistent business for you. Okay. Now, KV Core has the tools to make that happen. And it has the tools to help you get more conversations from those people. And that's what we're here to do. But it only works if you have the people in the system. Okay. How many people you have in the system determines the rest. So conversations are what creates commission. And that's really what you're collecting. So where do you get people, right? Number one, your sphere of influence. That should be the number one thing. Why? 89% of the buyers out there would use the same agent again. 38 did, would actually did. Why is there a big gap here? That gap is because people do not manage your sphere of influence. Now, what's interesting is that for sellers, 63% actually found their agent either through a referral or a repeat business. So repeat and referral business is one part of your pipeline. It's also probably the most important. And if you're a brand new agent, realize that the first 4 to 10 deals an agent usually gets are people they know. So how do you make sure you're not missing opportunities and finding out your cousin went and bought from somebody else? That's important. If anybody wants this information right here, okay, then I'm going to go ahead and stick it in the chat. I'm not making up stats. I give them to you directly from the NAR, and there you go. Okay, they make up stats maybe, but I don't. So there you go. There's your stats in the link. And let me make sure that goes out to everyone. There we go. Ding. All right. Now, there you go. Now, how do you build a sphere of influence? How do I make that happen? It's got to begin with who you know. So who do you know? And how do you get them together? And then how do you manage them, right? All of that is a big question. So first of all, people in your phone and email, you guys, back in the day, I'm an old guy. You can look and tell, right? I had to get an address book open and like write down everybody I know on a spreadsheet and then sit there and smile and dial. That's how I had to do it in the old days. You guys don't have to do that. They're all in your email. I'm going to give you a document to make that work, okay? And then you use our Sphere playbook, which makes that easy for you. And then connect with them once under your import, okay? Your import tool. The final thing I want to say before we skip out of this slide real quick, you have to keep it warm. Your communications with your sphere of influence can't be like, you know, bang, 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 bang. Hi, I'm in sales. How are you? Do you feel like hitting with a sales guy today? You can't do that with your sphere of influence. You got to keep it warm. You got to care about what they want, and you have to give them value. So don't go gangbusters into these people with a hardcore sales approach, because you'll lose those friends. That sphere will shrink. We want to grow a sphere, not shrink it. So be careful how you approach them. It's important. Now, what I'm going to do is give you a document that everybody gets, okay? Everybody gets. And I want you to actually save this document. And if you don't know how to do it, that's okay. I can show you how to do it. But I want you to go ahead and take this document and hit File, make a copy, or if you want to, you can download it. But get your own copy of this. Either make a copy or download. This document's going to give you how to get people into your sphere of influence. Now, some of you have Gmail, and you can sync with your KV Core and sync your Gmail contacts. And for a lot of people, that's great. For me, I don't really want to sync everything because I don't want everything. I want my business in there. What I do is I would get my Gmail contacts right here, my Gmail contacts. And I want to take those folks and I want to go ahead and download them. So here's instructions to that in this doc I provided. Here's how you do it with your Hotmail or your Outlook. Here's instructions on how to get your Mac contacts, your iPhone people, right? If you're a Yahoo user, you still have access to Yahoo, you can get it in there. So this is how you can get all of that stuff done and downloaded for yourself, okay? This document. So it's in the chat. Go into the chat.
Scott,
and yeah.
People in there saying they don't have access, they can't get access, so maybe we need to reshare it with a universal link.
It should be. Hold on.
Yeah, we're restricted there.
This is the one. I see. Okay, bear with me 1 second. I'll give you a new one. Good feedback. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pop off. I'm gonna leave you all in Scott's hands. Good luck.
Everybody's like, no. Heather, you're awesome. Thank you
That's
for
awesome.
being here and
Yep.
getting this started for me. Thanks for all that. I appreciate it. And I'll get you guys a shareable doc. Give me a second.
We'll also put this in the description in the YouTube for anyone's watching this on YouTube later.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you. But this is super important. You want to make sure that you're able to grab and download everybody that you've ever met, basically, right? You want to go ahead and be able to download everybody that you've ever met. So this should be anyone with the link should be able to get this document as of in your chat as of now. So hop in there. It should be public. You should be able to grab it. And remember, when you get it, make your own copy right now. So hit File up at the top. You want to hit File. And then either make a copy or File, download. If you want it in Word, you can download it. All right. So this document will give you links that will help you get people downloaded that you can bring into the program. So I wanted everybody to have that and get a hold of it. So step one, is got to be your sphere of influence, the people you know. Now, I want you to use the sphere playbook because that's going to teach you how to get more people. You'll get people out of your social network. You'll be able to do a lot of stuff, but we need to get that done. So along with your agent quick start trainings, the very first thing you should be doing when you get a hold of KV Core is downloading your people and getting them ready for import, meaning just download them into a CSV. Now, when it comes to dealing with people, and I mean leads in general, whether they're sphere, whether they're people you don't know that are just leads that you're generating, remember, with this, just like any other project, you can't do it all at once in a minute. You know, it takes a while. And one of the things I learned firefighting is sometimes we clear a lot of trees and stuff like that. And one of the things I learned is that you can't chop that tree down in one swing. And if you try to do it in 3, you'll exhaust yourself. Take your time, learn to be good at swinging. Okay, stay the course. Now with lead conversion, that kind of when you start contacting people, a friend of mine actually taught me this, an old friend of mine, when you're communicating with people, you can't expect them all to be ready just because you are, you're collecting eggs here. And if you keep them warm and you take care of them, these eggs, they start cracking and you get a chicken, right? What you can't do is take an egg and go, come on, and crack the top of it, break it open and look for chickens. And the point is you don't get aggressive with the people. You don't push them too hard. You want to give them value at all times, but don't kill your leads to try to convert them. Anyway, in order for you to generate leads and to communicate, you want to block off time. You want to take a little bit of time every day and just block it off. Just block it off. And remember that great change, you're starting from 0 maybe and going into creating a pipeline long-term to generate your business. Great change doesn't come all at once. Take an incremental thing, make one thing a habit today. Once you feel like that's a habit, put another thing in place, and so on and so forth. Consistent, daily, focused practice and repetition just gets you better, and you'll get massive growth and change. That's how a lot of things grow. So let's skip on from that, and we will go ahead and do the math. We're going to do the math. So years ago, I met this person named Susan. She'd never actually had a pipeline, generated any business. She was new, and it was real quick. So how much money do you want to make every year? And I want you to get on a 3-year plan to be consistent with that. So the first year, you might go a little bit under. Second year, you might hit it, might be a little under. Third year, you should be there. And fourth and fifth consistently for the rest of your career. But how much do you want that to be? So start off with that goal in mind. What do I want? Next, okay, how much commission do you get from your transactions? So average commission for her was about $8,000. Okay, she gets about $8,000 per deal. Then said, okay, well, how many deals do you need to get that goal? So she wanted $100,000. That was her goal. She gets about $8,000 per transaction. We do the math. That's 13 deals a year. That's 13 deals a year. Now, not counting your sphere, because that's going to help you get, a stronger foundation. But I'm talking about new leads you generate to build a pipeline. How many leads do you need to get to that point? So for 13 deals, we look at 100. Average conversion rate, 0.5 to 1.5%. For the people who are really good, I'm seeing 3s and 5s, and some people are ridiculous in getting more. You got to start somewhere. So start expecting the 1, okay? Expect the 1%. So if I need 13 deals, that's 1,300 leads, right? That's 1,300 leads. Now, 1,300 leads is a lot of leads. How am I going to get 1,300 leads? You don't have to commit to 1,300 leads. You have to commit to 5 a day if you're her. right? 260 working days. I'm giving you weekends off to go show homes or whatever. But if you time block X amount of time per day to generate leads, then that's what you're going to do. Okay, you're going to generate leads. So remember, we have to reduce it down to the ridiculous. You start off with 1,300, but if you do the math, that's only like 5 a day. So commit yourself to what you're going to generate for new leads per day. And there we go. Let me make sure that I am sharing this with anybody who has the link this time. So we're good. Anyone with the link? There we go, done. So I'm going to drop this into the chat for you. This is a commission calculation sheet. This is you creating your math towards what you want to do. Create your math, make the numbers work for you. Now that all sounds well and good, Scott. So how am I supposed to get those leads? How's that going to happen? So let's go ahead and talk about that. Pipeline equals paycheck, right? But there's only 2 ways I know of to get leads. Time and money, right? Time and money. It's got to be one of the 2, time or money. So commit yourself to one or the other. My guess is if you have a ton of time, probably not a lot of money. Time's your thing. If you don't have a ton of time, you're probably making money. So then invest one of the 2, maybe a little bit of a hybrid. So what do I do if I just have time? Just time. Number 1, work open houses. Time after time after time with agents I've spoken to over the better part of the last 20 years. They get business from working other people's open houses. And I promise you, the strong listing agents do not want to work their own open houses. You know, you are able to go there and generate leads out of doing that. So do it. If you can find it, do it. Door knocking. A lot of people hate door knocking. Never do it without a reason. Never do it without a reason. I'm going to recommend you do the webinar for Core Present and learn how to do those CMAs through there because they're awesome. If you don't have Core Present, call your account manager. No, if you don't have a Core Present, you have to have a CMA tool somewhere, right? You have to have something where you can create a cool one-pager or a nice little CMA thing. Door knock with that. Go to the house and go, look, pull up whatever sales happened in the neighborhood lately. Go knock on the door. Hey, I know that your neighbor's house just sold down today. I thought you'd be interested in knowing, what ballpark your home would be in if you were looking to sell it right now. I did this for you and I wanted you to have it. And let me introduce myself. So if you go up there and you do that and you make a habit of it, do 10 by 10. Pick a house that just sold, go 10 to the left, 10 to the right. Go do it. That'll generate leads for you. And it's a great way to generate seller leads. Next, CMA a day. We put together CMA a day challenges for a lot of the groups that I work with. I'll work with an office that just wants to move the needle, on how many listings their office gets. And they'll challenge all of the agents in that office to do 1 CMA a day, whether it's for somebody in your sphere of influence, whether it's somebody on the block that you live in, or whether it's someone in a farm that you want to manage, or if it's a seller lead that you got somehow, past client. Do it with your sphere. It doesn't matter. Do 1 a day. Try that for 30 days. Do it for 60. And if you can do it for 90, watch what happens. This will make a difference for you. Next, you have to start integrating your online life with your offline life, meaning anything that you've ever killed a tree for. If you have a business card, if you have a flyer, if you have a sign, your email signature, every single thing that you have should be saying, get market reports, click here, or what's your home worth? Click here, or see all homes for sale in CST Keys. Click here, right? If it's in print, then you want to drive them to that site. See all homes for sale in CST Keys at www.cstkeysrealestate.com or whatever your website is. I'm just giving you an example. So you have to start taking everything in your life and start thinking, how can I point that to my site to generate more leads? And, QR codes are good. You have a lot of you have Core Listing Machine. There's a QR code builder in there. Use it. If you don't have Core Listing Machine, then Google can build a QR code for you right in the address bar. There's also QR code builders that you can get. It's pretty easy to figure out how to make QR codes. Use those. By the way, every listing in your KV Core has a QR code in it in your dashboard. So every listing has a QR code for it in your listings section. Borrow listings. Do a sphere playbook, a sphere of influence playbook. The playbooks here are what I consider to be like an easy button. This is the easiest way to do something. So you can do a playbook, borrow a listing, do a playbook, and it'll give you all these ways to market that listing and just go down the list. Playbooks are awesome and they're easy. Do squeeze pages to create squeeze pages. Squeeze page is where you can basically create a link and market it that comes back to a bunch of listings. Maybe you want, maybe you're in Newport Beach and you want to do Newport Beach waterfront homes. You can do a search, save it. It's called the squeeze page. And then you can take the link for that and you can market that. See all Newport Beach waterfront homes. And you can market that. We'll show you how to do that. Pop it right into all your social network stuff. Expired listings. Yeah, use Core Present. Again, this is another chance for you to use Core Present or whatever CMA tool you have to get listings. Lesson 4 in your Agent Quick Start. The 4th lesson in your Agent Quick Start. If you haven't done your Agent Quick Start, shame on you, go do it. But lesson 4 in your Agent Quick Start is marketing. It's a bunch of these things, how to do a squeeze page, how to do a landing. If you have time, do that. If you want to market with money, then what do you do then? How do you get more leads, right? Now, in your marketplace, you have a section called Get More Leads. And within there, you have Property Boost. Property Boost is what I would consider to be the most tangible lead generation tool that's out there, because any agent, I don't care who you are, any of you can do it. If you don't have a listing to boost, borrow a listing to boost. There are people are getting a lot more friendly about you boosting listings and marketing their listings for them these days. And the market's going to make that even easier for you probably coming up. So definitely work to help market listings. Borrow a listing from someone and then go boost it. Make sure you have their permission, but then go boost that listing. Now, the neat part about this is that for $60, I can market that for a week. And I'm getting leads usually under $10. It's a bunch of leads, cheap and easy to do. So like I said, tangible. Any of you can do that. Now, if you have a little bit more budget, you can start doing smart social leads. What I really like about smart social is that it gets a lot of phone numbers with their leads, which means you can do more text marketing. Do it correctly, but do more text marketing. And so Smart Social Leads collects a lot of good phone numbers because it's pulling their phone numbers right out of Facebook. It's pulling their phone numbers right out of Facebook. If I were you, I'm going to answer a question really quick. Do we just have to have verbal permission? You can say I have verbal permission, but then you got to prove it at some point. I'd send them a text or an email and have them reply back to you and say, sure, go ahead. And then save that, because if they ever change their mind, you want to ever say you didn't have permission, you want to have yourself covered. I would do that. Google pay-per-click obviously is something else. And for Google pay-per-click, it's another thing we provide, and you can get Google leads. So when people go search Google in your town for, homes for sale, then you're up there. You're one of those links, and for at least some of the day. And what happens is that helps generate a lot of leads for you. Anyway, all those kind of lead generation is in your marketplace. Go check it out. All of them have like a little video or a demo. Watch them, See if it's for you. And then, of course, if you're a player in that field already and you have other sources, you should be able to get those sources in. We have email import links. You can use an API. You can zap it in with Zapier. There's a lot of ways for you to get a lead into your KV Core, but you must get the lead in. That's the important part, right? That's the important part. So the beginnings of creating this, the idea is to commit to making a specific amount of new leads happen every day. And KV Core is going to help you do the rest. It's going to help you do the rest, create more communications with these individuals and make things happen for you. This is where we get into answering your questions. So I'm going to go ahead and start checking into the chat, see what kind of questions you guys have for us today. This is Q&A time. Anybody want to request, raise your hand, something like that? Remember, number one, before we do that, I'm not support. That's not what I do. I can't help you with that stuff very much. You have to go through the chat bubble. Number two is that I can give you information on how to do stuff in marketing with KV Core, but I'm not all knowing. There's stuff that you might have heard out there in the market I've never heard of. So, keep it in context, number one, but also let's make sure that we're keeping it about the topics or about a KV Core topic or a marketing topic. Margie, I'm going to go to Margie. Hi, Margie. Go ahead and unmute yourself if you want.
Hi there. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty awesome. I'm doing pretty awesome. It's
thank you for
Friday
this class.
Eve, right?
Pardon?
It's Friday Eve.
Yes. I don't know if you saw my question in the chat.
I might have missed it.
I'm wondering how to set up drip campaigns and campaigns,
Sure.
and how to know if something's already set up, because I actually received. So I started putting all of my contacts in my KV Core, and I sent out like a happy Easter. And then one of my mortgage company people clicked on something to look in the website, and they got a email saying how easy it is to qualify for a mortgage. And so she's like, Margie, why did I get this? I'm like,
that was probably their own campaign. That was their own campaign. That's what makes that so funny. But a couple things really quick. I'm going to highlight. Can you see this right here?
Yes.
You see a little circle?
Yes.
Okay. So support and training, and go to support docs. That's what I do. I lean on this. A lot of people can learn over video and stuff like that. Not this guy. I am a kinesthetic learner. I have to get in and do it and see it. So right here, you'll see where it says search all articles, and there's a complete guide. So you can literally do it while you learn it. And it's called the Complete Guide to Smart Campaigns. So if you just search smart campaigns like this, there's a complete guide to smart campaigns that'll give you step by step, big. Right now, there's a whole menu. But if you go down, you just want to start. Here's how you get in. Here's how you can use the libraries that we already have, like that KV Core library we already have in there. And here's how you can see what just the ones that are yours are. And then there's all kinds of stuff that you could do. So definitely get into this and just make sure it's something that you work with. But basically, it's under marketing right here. And I just click on marketing because I like to see everything. I'm funky that way. And then I'm going to click here on, what I do, log out or something? It doesn't want to let me do it. Hold on a second. I might have to get into my own dashboard. I borrowed somebody else's. Yeah, I borrowed somebody else's. So hang in there with me for a second. But really what you want to do is go into your marketing, select smart campaigns, and then from smart campaigns, and I think they were probably disabled for this one. From smart campaigns, you want to go ahead and this, I can't do it from this sample. Sorry, but from Smart Campaigns, you want to go ahead and learn your learn how to do the Smart Campaign, the complete guide. But I'll try to log in and see if I can show you from my own silly sample site. And show you just how to get in there.
Mhm.
In the meantime, there is another tool I want to show you too. Has anybody ever used the scheduled mass email tool? Raise your hand if you have.
I tried to, but I
You
couldn't
did?
get it to work.
You couldn't.
Mm-mm. No, I selected the mass email and it selected all my contacts, and then I couldn't import a photo that I wanted to send, you know, a campaign photo.
Mhm.
And it just didn't let me put anything in there to send people.
Well, that doesn't sound normal. If you have a problem with something like that going forward, if you have an issue with anything like that going forward, then definitely hop into your chat, let them know what's going on, and you can go from there. You can easily go from there. So while I'm signing into this, I'm going to hop into Chelsea's question really quick. Not forgetting you, Margie, but I'm going to hop into Chelsea's really quick. Hi, Chelsea. What's happening?
I didn't have a question. I was just saying that
Oh, you were saying I've used the scheduled mass email tool? Oh, all right. Anyone else want to, if you raise your hand right now, it means you have a question. Let's go ahead and do that. Nope. Okay. So let's just borrow this thing for a second right here and go into marketing. Can you all see this on my screen right here? Yeah, see the circle? Good. I can go into marketing here. I can jump into Smart Campaigns. So this will tell me what my campaigns are. If it says my campaigns, I can click on KV Core library and it'll give me an entire library full of campaigns. And just jumping back to the earlier question about the lender, there are lender campaigns. So every KV Core lender has their own dashboard. They can go check their campaigns. So encourage them to go look at the Smart Campaigns and to jump into this support and training support center and have them look at the complete guide to Smart Campaigns. It is one of my favorite documents that there is here because I can step by step go through it and make it happen. So, but anybody here can get into and view. I can view any one of these campaigns right here. I can look at them all, check them out, see what I think of them. I can edit them if I want to. I can clone them and make my own version. Everybody has the access to do all of that stuff right there under marketing and Smart Campaigns. Let's get into Larry's question. Hi, Larry.
Actually, you have Ann, not Larry.
Hi, Ann. Hi, Ann,
Hi,
who is
okay.
not Larry.
Virtual Larry. Anyway, can you go back in? I have a question. If you go back into Smart Campaigns and template and then newsletter.
Sure.
Oh, there's none there. Is there one there? Okay, if you could go into one of them and look at the bottom. I guess you have to go to clone.
Yeah.
Now, what happened with us, we're new to KV Core and we did not have the unsubscribe at the bottom. And I tried to make a new one. Let's go all the way to the bottom. See the gray area there? Does that have an unsubscribe in that one? We had to put a new merge tag in for that.
Yeah, you can add a merge tag in here for sure.
And what happened is, at first, I tried to make a new one from scratch, and that gray area wasn't in it. So I had to go back, reclone one, put the
Oh, you're
unsubscribe
making
in.
your own? Yeah.
Well, I
Well,
am
what you
making my
could
own
do
now.
is you could copy this. Just copy this, put it to the side, and then pop that in.
Okay, it didn't work when I did it because it didn't have that gray area. So I just redid it, and now I just copy and paste it. I'll clone what I already did.
Yeah,
You know,
that works.
but I just thought unsubscribe was important. Like we used to do MailChimp. And
Yeah.
MailChimp always had unsubscribe in it, the ability for people.
Everything that normally goes out from you usually has an unsubscribe in it. If this isn't here, that's something we might be able to add universally. But in the meantime, definitely do it yourself.
I put it myself, but you might want to add that universally. I just want to say that, okay?
Mhm.
That's my
No,
only thing.
that's awesome. Good tip.
So I'll lower my hand.
Who else has a question? All right. Then in lieu of a question, I'm going to take you back into marketing really quick. And whoops, not search alerts, marketing. And then I want to go to scheduled mass email. For those of you who might not know this, this is pretty important. I'm going to go ahead and hit scheduled email. Let's say that I just imported my people. Now, I'm kind of working a little bit backwards, but if you've just imported a bunch of people into your sphere of influence, and some of them you haven't talked to in 20 years, some of them you haven't, you talked to yesterday, it doesn't matter. If I click under templates and type the word import, here's an imported lead default template ready to go right now. What I would do is I'd probably get rid of these right here, because there's something new in mobile app that you're going to want instead of using the old one. So right here, all you got to do is come into scheduled mass email, go to marketing, go to scheduled mass email, schedule an email, and then from here, under templates, type in the word import, and then click, and there it is. And again, what I like about it is, in addition to saying, here's my new website, here's my tools, you're also getting, hey, it would be helpful if you let me know where you're at in the process. Are you actively searching now? Are you thinking about it in the future? Or are you all good for now? Have you already bought and sold and you're happy? Then good for you. And it does that. And you'd be surprised at how many people go, well, we're thinking about it, but we're waiting for a market. You get those conversations going. And remember, this is about conversations. Now, let's say that I just downloaded all those resources that I talked to you about earlier. All of them. We just downloaded all those resources. So then the next thing that I want to do is I want to go up here to playbooks. This guy right there, playbooks. And look, what I said about baby steps, what I said about, small incremental changes. If all you do is get your contacts downloaded first and then send them in, you're a winner, right? You're a winner. You've actually done something great for yourself. And then the next step can be, okay, let's do that mass email Scott showed me. And then maybe the next step from there can be that you come into your playbooks. But I'm big on playbooks. So let's say I downloaded my sheet and I have it ready, and I just want somebody to make it easier for me to build my sphere. Then I start this playbook, and step one says, okay, let us handle it or do it yourself. I'm going to let KV Core handle it because they have a team of people who'll do this. But we want to make sure they import them the right way. So we're going to make you sign a form saying garbage in, garbage out. There we go. Then you've got this right here. Then you can say, okay, I'm an agent. I'm in the US. These are my leads. I want them assigned to me and I own them. And then you can choose file and actually pull that in. Then you can say, okay, Please import as sphere of influence. That's what I'm going to import these people in. And then I'm going to go sphere -4 27 23. Let's say that I do that. No spaces. You got to have something in there. Now I'm creating a hashtag that I'll be able to use later. You want to do that. And then these guys are buyers and sellers. And do I want them to get MLS listing alerts? Hey, if I were importing an old database from somewhere else, or if I downloaded everybody I ever put on the MLS, which you should do, and import into KV Core, then I would say, yes, put them on listing alerts, but not my sphere. I'm not going to do that. I'm also not yet going to put them on a smart campaign. Go look at your sphere campaign, and then you can put it, but let's do that one touch first. That one touch first with that communication. And then look, you import them in. You import them in. So if you do this import, KV Core gets all your leads in there for you. Takes a couple days, and then they're done. And I mean like 2, and then they're done. Then you can capture your social media. So I can do like, I could go ahead and decide that I want to find, I don't know what market this dashboard's in. Let me try New York and see if that works. Yeah, so let's say I want to take everybody, all my contacts, and I want to set up market reports, and I want them to get into those market reports. KV Core automatically creates a page that I can share out to all my social media networks where they can come in here and get a free market report, and I can put that out in all my documents. So KV Core tees this up for you. Then they can also tee up for you a home valuation post that you can put into all your social network. So this stuff's all in here in your Sphere playbook. Get your people downloaded, get them in their Sphere playbook, go through this whole thing, get it done. And then there'll be another one on how to work your Sphere. The one thing that I would do after I gather though is go do that mass email that I showed you. Go do that scheduled mass email that I showed you. It's way out there. So Larry says that, it's not really Larry, but that we're new to KV Core, so we just sent out our first newsletter. Congrats. That's awesome. One of the best things that you can do is, by the way, is blog posts too, if you want to kind of keep the blog posts going. As far as if you're using newsletters, you can also use blog posts. But I'm pumped about the first newsletter, and we'll see how that goes. Hi, not Larry. Go ahead.
Hi.
You're unmuted.
Okay, virtual Larry, no, Ann. Anyway, I started doing the blog posts, and I listened to the Inside Real Estate blogging webinar just before I got on, and I
Was
had
that
no
Heather
idea.
did that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think it was Heather, but
It's
it's
Heather
an
or
old
Kelly,
one from
probably.
2021.
Okay.
But they talked about your service areas on your website.
Yes.
And I thought that that was like amazing, okay, to blog using the service areas, and then it breaks down and you can break that stuff down. And I did have a question on that. Not
Sure.
you, or yes.
I could try. Go ahead.
Okay. When you do the service area, you get 3 pictures of 3 listings at the top. And I just didn't know if they could get, I only just saw this just before I got on with you, how people could see more listings in each area or neighborhood.
If they click on that, it should give them all the details, like all the other types of listings that they can look at on your websites. On your websites that you have here, they're kind of cool. Let's see if this one actually works. Yep. You like that? That's like an old picture. I'm that realtor. All right. See down here where it says areas we cover? If this can be quite a bit, right? Now, what these do is a couple things for you. It takes every one of these areas and it creates a search engine page for those areas. and a service page for those areas. So here's your most popular, here's your most expensive, here's the total amount of listings in that town, here's market stats, here's the map, here's the other stuff. And then usually it'll break down into subdivisions. Apparently Flushing isn't real big on that, but and normally, I don't know that area very well, but it'll break down into subdivisions for you. Now, I'm not sure exactly though, when you do those service areas and you have a listing, usually if it's a service area, then it should give you, you know, how many listings are in that, all this other stuff. So you can see the other listings just like those did. So I don't know, maybe Athens has some listings, they only have 3, but it'll show you usually all this, you know, this data. I'm picking these tiny little pocket communities, apparently. I don't know the area very well, but I think that Nyack will work pretty good here. Bear with me 1 second. Thanks for your patience. There we go. Yeah, this is better. So this has like 88 listings. If I wanted to click right here, it would take me to the 88 listings. But then now I've got all this stuff still. And I love that because you can get your market report signed up off of that and everything. So yeah, this will give you the open houses. It'll give you the reduced priced homes automatically. So your service area pages should have all this stuff in it. Who's next? Anyone? Nope.
I have a question. When you send out a campaign and they unsubscribe, where is that notification?
It's in the lead.
It's in the lead. Okay.
It's in the lead, yeah. So let's take this one right here. Let's take this lead right here. See this right here?
Mm-hmm.
Email and phone are both on, or email and text are both unsubscribed right here.
Oh, gotcha.
It'll also show you where and how that happened here. Okay. So this was a test to make sure this works. If somebody tests unsubscribe, will it unsubscribe you, right? Yes, contact automatically unsubscribed. Received stop word from contact right here. So it told us to stop and we stopped. So that's right here under unsubscribed, and you have that by email and by text. Good distinction though is that the unsubscribe, text doesn't unsubscribe you from email and email doesn't unsubscribe you from text.
Well, that's good to know.
So they're separate opt-outs. Okay. Good question. I mentioned earlier squeeze pages and landing pages. Again, these are things you're usually working your own groups with to generate leads. Maybe some groups you belong to that you can post to, but you can also post to Craigslist pretty easy. If I were on this listing and I wanted to post to Craigslist, I could pretty easily go ahead and just, you know, post it to Craigslist under, well, I don't actually, that's not an actual active listing. Let me find one. There we go. So I could take this listing right here, and this works in the US. For our friends up north, apologies. This isn't in for your area. I know you guys have Kijiji, but I don't think we have an automatic tool for that. So here for Craigslist, I just hit post to Craigslist. And look, no hands. Well, now I have to actually choose the city, but the area, but there we go. But it all does it for me. And it's people you don't know. So if you're a more time than money individual, this is kind of a fun tool to use. That'll help you generate leads and get them to come to you. So the trick to make that work is that you need to go download this. You need to go to Google and you need to search out to your Google browser, and you need to search out your Google extensions. So if I were to go over here and I typed in extensions and just searched, Google has a Chrome Web Store. You can click on that. Search the store for KV Core. And then you can download it right here. And that'll put it right there for you. The next step is that you want to set your URL right here. And then when you do it, you just tell them where in the world you're at. And then it puts you into your local page. And from that point on, you can just click into your KV Core. And, you know, under any of the listings, post to Craigslist. Again, if it's not your listing, borrow one. Borrow one. Anybody else have a question?
I have a question about
I'm sorry, try unmuting again. I think I just muted you on accident.
I have a question about the text capture and the smart text. Is there a possible way for you to do that as like an office? Like a text capture for the whole office and maybe like round robin those captures, or is that agent to agent basis?
Are you talking about, I want to create, if I'm at the company, I want to use the company site to
Like,
create a landing page with the text capture on it?
so let's say we're doing like a giveaway at the office, like a Mother's Day giveaway. We text, win or whatever to, the office smart number, that would just come directly either to the broker or anything like that. Is there any way for you to funnel those leads to maybe put them in a round robin from like
Yeah,
an
but it's
admin level?
a setting. So that's when you're going to like your phone,
Uh-huh.
and then you're deciding what you want that phone to do,
I see. I
right?
see.
So you'll have a button over here if you're an admin that says edit. You
Okay.
can hit edit and it'll ask you what you want to do. So you'll see this one says rotate through all agents, but this one says call Scott, right?
Got it.
So if this doesn't have it because I'm in an agent, this isn't an admin, but over right about here, you would
Okay.
have buttons that say edit. And if you click on that, you'll be able to make that decision and it'll change.
Good to know. Thank
So
you.
you're welcome. Anyone else? Appreciate you all being here. I have 7 minutes for questions. Anything you want to know about KV Core or marketing? No, then I'm just going to go ahead and.
Wait, one more question.
Good.
Ready?
Sure, Virtual Larry, hit me.
Okay, Virtual Larry has a question. All right. Anyway, when you go back to the service area and like where we are, our service areas are just zip codes because they're huge areas, and then it breaks down into neighborhoods after that. The last one I was on said, all you have to do is get the link and the link will update itself. It's an active link, correct?
Yeah, these are active pages. These are dynamic pages. They update with the MLS all day, every day.
And I thought that was great. So anyway, I thought that was beyond excellent. So anyhow, thank you so much.
You're welcome. No, I like new, fresh content on my site, updating all the time. That's super cool. But again, what you guys might not know is you could just grab one of those and you can make that a reason to communicate with somebody, right? So let's look at that really quick. So if I wanted to, I could say, I want to highlight an area today. So today, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to highlight High Falls. Watch it have like no listings, but there you go. I want to highlight High Falls. So what I could do is I could go ahead and grab this, copy it, and I can send an email out to people and say, hey, I want to introduce you to the area of High Falls. You can send it out. If you're interested in seeing real estate there, here's a page on it. You can also sort out all the people in High Falls that you have that have ever searched coming in off of leads in High Falls, which you can do through your filters. And then I can send them all that page and say, hey, just wanted to make sure that you had this. It'll track your market for you. It'll give you all the listings whenever you need them. It's pretty handy to have that page. And then it updates by itself, like we were talking about. It automatically updates. It's dynamic. You guys don't have to do anything with it. But you could get into your CRM filter and you can filter by people's property interest. So if there was anybody looking in High Falls, and I'm pretty sure there won't be here, but I could go ahead and search for anybody searching in High Falls right there. Yeah, nobody. But if there were, there'd be a whole list of people that show up. Now I could go ahead and if it's a reasonable list, then I would go ahead and I can mass email from here, 10 people or whatever. If it's more than that, then I can save this filter, name it. Nice. Have to have Shrek fingers. You have to be able to type. There you go. I can save this, name it. I can make it a pin. Boom. Now up here, I've got High Falls. So all my High Fall leads are right here. When you create that filter and you save it, let's say now I wanted to go into that scheduled mass email tool and I wanted to create something cool and link to the community page that we were just looking at and all of that. Now I could go ahead and send it to everybody matching my High Falls filter. So you can target people through searching them in your filters, and then you can send something specifically to those filters that you've saved. So if I wanted to create a page real quick on High Falls and then provide them a link to their High Falls page and resources, tell them to save it, search it regularly. That's another way that you can help incubate people, create more conversations. All right.
I got a question.
Who is that?
That's it's Margie.
Hi,
Where's
Margie.
the drop down that you went to go to Craigslist?
Sure, that's on listings. So over here where it says
Mhm.
listings, if I were to click on this, and let's say that we were going to choose Wildwood Drive here. Wildwood Drive. There we go. Right here where it says more actions, you're going to find that you got some cool stuff. You could send it via text. You could email it to a hashtag. Remember I talked about generating QR codes? We have a QR code for all these listings, right? And then you could take it to Core Present, which is super cool. You could post this to Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Craigslist. And if you sync your Facebook with your Instagram, then you can share those. But with Instagram, I don't like to use that so much because they don't allow you to put links you can click on. So you have to do some other cool stuff. But that's a whole different training. Anyway, so yeah, you just click on it. It happens, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that is right here.
Okay, great. And the same thing that's available just to put out on your social media is under marketing, if it's not tied to a listing?
Oh, a squeeze page? Yeah. So a squeeze page.
No, I mean, like if I wanted to post a video on my Facebook.
On your Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now some of you do and some of you don't have Core Listing Machine.
Okay, it's in Core Listing.
And some of you do and some of you don't have Core Listing Machine. So that's how other people, if you wanted, and that would give you the ability to do that.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. And you can go to direct link right here if you just want to pull this up. Sometimes there's a virtual tour here, and then you could go post that. If you don't have Core Listing Machine, you could grab the virtual tour off of the listing right here. This is a Matterport, which is kind of cool because you can cruise around. You guys want to go upstairs? But no, this is it's a Matterport, which is kind of cool. What I don't like about the Matterport so much is that it takes them outside of your site. The lead generation isn't yours at that point. So I just want to send them here if I can, because if they're in your website and they've never logged in and they click 3 times on stuff, they're going to be prompted to sign in and become a lead. And with that, we're up on time. I want to thank everybody for being here today. As Heather said earlier, she'll go ahead and post this to our YouTube page a little bit later on today. And you guys should be able to grab it from there if you want the recording. Hopefully you grabbed something that was beneficial to you today. But the short message is that pipeline equals paycheck, right? How many people I talk to today determines how much money I'm going to make tomorrow. And through KV Core, you have a lot of methods on how to make that happen. But it all starts with building your sphere of influence and then setting yourself up to get the amount of leads you need to get per day. Whether you do that with your time or money, it doesn't matter. Get your sphere in here and then get a strategy going to generate leads with whatever time money balance you have. If you do that and you commit to it and you stay consistent with it, you will build a successful pipeline. I've seen it happen over and over and over again. Thank you for your time today. I appreciate it. Take care.